What's up, everybody, and welcome to Real Time for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I'm Ryan Murphy.
I'm Josh Williams.
I'm James Sheridan.
And today we are giving you, or tonight I should say, we are giving you our real-time reactions to the Academy Award nominations. This is an annual thing. Josh and I have always reacted. James, welcome to the your first time with us.
Thank you.
I
react on my own every year, but
yeah, the awards, it's a very big deal for me. This is like every year I like to do this, and today I was like, I don't know if I can wait till 1 when Josh is available, because it's just, I'm so anxious, and then end up waiting until like 9 o'clock at night because of
it's not my fault. My daughter put my phone in the toilet, so I had to deal with that.
Still get on
playing the game of does it flush?
So I don't know what she was thinking, honestly.
The question is, was there anything else in the toilet?
No, thank God.
Okay,
thank God.
So,
and it was a clean bowl, so that that works too. And you still had to put it in rice for the longest time, and then had to deal with other stuff. But we're here. We're here, everybody. We're here to react to it. Now, before we start going over the nominations, other than me, now there's still a few. I'm assuming that are going to be on the list that were on the list of the Golden Globes that I have not watched yet. Are there any of them that you guys have watched that are probably going to be on the list or were on the Golden Globes list?
I mean, I'm basing my predictions is basically for it to look a lot like the Golden Globes, and I haven't seen basically anything. So
the only two that I've seen be held in contention. I didn't see what was on the Golden Globes list. I'm not usually an awards guy, although the Academy Awards are kind of different because there's politics and history and all that there that I'm kind of fascinated by. But the only two that I've seen that will probably be in contention are Trial of the Chicago 6, which I love.
Yep. 7. Trial of Chicago 7.
Sorry, of the 7. Yep. And then
great movie.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
That's going to be for next year's Oscars.
That's going to be for next year's. Yeah.
Oh, does it not qualify for this year's?
They did extend the deadline so that there are certain films that came out up to, I think, the end of February of this year that are available for the 2020 Oscars. Yep. But I think Raya is past that. Yes.
Raya missed the deadline by about a week.
Okay.
So, but it'll be there. Like this year is going to be like Onward and Soul. I would think are definitely going to be nominated for Best Animated Feature for sure.
But let's find out.
Let's find out.
I'm going to share my screen here real quick.
And I think we're starting off on the top with Best Picture.
Starting off on the top with Best Picture.
Oh man, I am hoping to see Mank for sure. Chicago 7 definitely. Judas and the Black Messiah would be great, and also Minari. Minari was such a beautiful film, and
I've heard good things about that one.
That's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful film. But Nomadland is definitely gonna get nominated. I can guarantee that one.
Well, yeah, that won the Golden Globe. So yeah, and there's twice as many nominees for Best Picture at the Oscars than there are the Golden Globes. So let's go ahead and find out. The nominees are.
Come on now.
Okay. The Father.
Oh, I really want to see
Black Messiah. Mank. That's Minari.
Ah! Woo!
Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7.
So that's pretty much exactly what I thought it would be.
The big surprise for me is, there's basically all the Golden Globe nominees for Best Drama are on there. The only one I'm really surprised out of the additional 4 or 5 is Sound of Metal. I figured that was nominated for Best Actor at the Golden Globes, but I didn't see it getting a Best Picture nomination.
I've seen it on a few lists leading up to the Oscars, and it was one of the ones it's on my list of things to see because I had a feeling it would be one that would be nominated, but having not seen it, I don't know. So I'm
going to be watching it tonight or tomorrow night because I'm trying to watch them all. I haven't seen The Father yet. I'm actually going to see that Thursday in the theaters while I'm in town. Ryan, if you want to join me and Sean, you're more than welcome. I've seen Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Women, and Trial of Chicago 7. So out of all of them, haven't seen 2, and they're all great picks. I mean, even Promising Young Women is a great film. A very unconventional ending, but still a good film.
A very controversial film, but it would be nice to see that one. Even if it doesn't win, it's nice to see it get a little bit of because of how controversial it is. It's nice to see it get a little bit of recognition. So even being nominated is kind of a big deal.
Oh yeah, like I said, the ending, it was good, and it's just the ending was very unconventional, and I'm not sure if I liked it just because it's not the satisfactory ending I was hoping for, but it is kind of.
But with that subject matter, are you really going to get a satisfactory ending that's going to be realistic?
Maybe you still could, but I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen a damn thing on the list.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of things about it, and I've read about the ending and all that.
Yeah.
Because it pops up in my sort of sphere, like politicized material and whatnot. But it's definitely one that it's on my list to see.
Yeah. One I'm surprised is not on here. Well, there's so many films.
I hate the fact that it's supposed to be 10. Now they nominate whatever they feel like, somewhere between 5 and 10.
You have to remember that we're also facing a year of like fewer releases because a lot of big movies were kind of pushed to be released later on.
James, I mean,
sorry,
there's eligible films. They could put 2
There's
more
eligible films, but the list isn't nearly as long as normal, and it's sort of an unusual year. So I have a feeling that a lot of people are kind of holding back, hoping for nominations in another year kind of thing. So there might not be as big of a pool necessarily to pull from.
Well, James or Josh, what did you say was the one you were surprised about?
Well, there was a couple. One was Ma Rainey. I forgot the rest of the title, but it's the one with Ma Rainey's.
Black Bottom.
Yep. Sorry, I couldn't think of the rest of the title, but no, I'm just surprised that one didn't make it. I have a feeling Chadwick Boseman's still going to get a posthumous nomination, but I've heard great things about the film. I haven't watched it yet either, but I plan to probably by this week. And then the other one was One Night in Miami. I've heard such great things about the film.
Yeah, that's one I've seen on list too.
Yeah, I'm just surprised
James. There's 2 extra slots those could have filled, and they just chose not to.
But there's never. But I don't think there's ever been in the history of the Academy Awards, even when they went to 10, that there's ever been 10. I think it's how the formula is structured.
In 2009 and 2010, it was 10.
It also depends on the voting. Like the voting for the Academy Awards is kind of complicated, and there might not have been like as much of a push for some of those other films that they're talking about, or because it's a smaller pool. Like what I'm saying is that they might have shrunk the list just to kind of, to reflect a smaller pool of films kind of thing, rather than just leaving 10 in there and just having 2 tacked on. I don't know their motivations for it. I don't understand the Academy in some of the choices they make, but
if it were up to me, I'd go back to just 5 nominees and just call, or if you're going to do 10, do 10, but just pick one. But
I mean, if it was up to us, there'd be a lot of changes at, how they vote and how things go, but
right. Yeah, especially how they vote, how they're promoted and whatnot. But before we move on to the next category, I just the 2 I'm really glad to see on here are Mank, just on a filmmaking standpoint, because it's well made, and then Minari is it's such a beautiful little film, and I'm just so happy to see it's on the list. But I've been excited to watch Sound of Metal and The Father ever since I heard about them. So
well, out of the ones you've seen, what do you think is the best picture? What do you think overall is the best picture? Josh, since you're the one who's seen everything.
That's the tough one. That is so tough, because Trial of the Chicago 7 is such it's such a great film, but it's also such oh God, I'm blanking on his name. Help me, Ryan.
What was
the director? The director, Trial of Chicago 7.
Oh, Aaron Sorkin.
It's such an Aaron Sorkin.
Did he direct
film.
it, or did he write it? I thought he just wrote it.
He's starting directed. This is the second one he's directed.
It's also complete Oscar bait being a period piece.
Yeah, but it's really well made. It's like Molly's Game. It's just really well made. But out of all these, what I think the voting will be Nomadland, because that is a very raw and emotional trip of a film. Like not trip, like a trip for dealing with your grief and kind of a journey, kind of a film. So that's probably what they're gonna vote. But my personal, I would vote. Now I haven't seen Sound of Metal yet. I've been anxious for that one, but I would probably vote Minari at this point.
Okay. I do appreciate that they put in Minari as like there's some controversy about the Academy Awards being very American, and they're opening up little by little each year to more sort of foreign kind of films being in the top list.
Oh yeah,
they've
like
gone 90
Parasite a couple years ago.
Their first ever foreign film Best Picture. So
yep.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like you have the odd anomaly like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which will make a wave, but like more and more we're seeing more of these foreign films kind of make it into the Best Picture category, like Parasite, rather than just being shunted to the foreign film category.
Exactly.
I would like to see them do that with a bit more like genre material and a bit more of the
like horror films that are well deserved. Films,
but like I mean, Parasite, yeah, being one, but there does tend tend to be a very like typical type of film that they put up for these awards every year, and it's like I'm glad to see a little more variety.
When it came up, The Heritage should have been voted for Best Picture, and Toni Collette should have gotten a nomination for Best Actress.
About Hereditary?
Sorry, Hereditary. What did I say?
Heritage.
Sorry, the Hereditary. I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing.
My dad thinks the scent of a woman is called smell of a woman.
My bad. Sorry, Hereditary should have been voted for Best Picture, and Toni Collette should have gotten it. But anyways, let's move on, guys.
Okay.
Let's move on. We got Best Actor in a Leading Role.
Best Actor. Here we go. Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. Come
Riz Ahmed in Sound of Metal. Chadwick Boseman in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins in The Father. Nice. No surprise there. Gary Oldman in Mank. And
well deserved.
In Minari.
My Walking Dead man. Glenn getting the nomination.
Because I think Chadwick Boseman is kind of a shoo-in for this, just because of the posthumous thing. Like, they tend to favor that aspect, but it's like Stephen Yeun, I don't think gets enough credit for how good of an actor he is, and I'm glad that post Walking Dead he's starting to get a little more recognition with Minari. So like getting this nomination is big for him, but I really don't think anyone on this list has a chance against Chadwick Boseman.
No, and like I said, I haven't. Go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
4 out of 5 of these were the Golden Globe nominees. The only one that's different is Stephen Yeun, or however you pronounce his name. Sorry. Stephen Yeun. The other one for the Golden Globes was Tahar Rahim in The Mauritanian. Instead of Stephen Yeun and Minari. So have you seen The Mauritanian, Josh?
I have not. That was one that just recently got released. I'm probably going to try and catch it when I can. I've heard good things. I definitely heard great things. But that one just like recently, like it made its deadline. It got released like middle of February or like late February, or like hit the deadline right then and there. So no, I haven't seen that one yet. But man, that's such a good list. Like they said, I've only seen, sadly, out of this category, I've only seen 2 of the 5. But like I said, I plan on watching Father Thursday, Sound of Metal tonight or tomorrow, and then Ma Rainey's Black Bottom this week as well. Okay,
so you guys are Walking Dead fans, I guess. I'm the resident not Walking Dead fan. So Stephen Yeun is from The Walking Dead?
Yeah, he played Glenn, one of the big prominent characters in the comics and in the show.
Okay. Well, he didn't play him in the comics, but he was a prominent character in the comics.
But you know what I mean? The character is very prominent. But yeah.
Glenn was a big part of, like, he was one of the very earliest characters in the series.
Yep.
And his eventual departure from the series was very heartbreaking for a lot of fans.
But it was very.
And Stephen Yeun.
I know what you're talking about now. I don't even not watching the show. It's sort of like one of those things that just filters through pop culture. You hear about
Stephen Yeun was so outstanding as not just that character, but just as an actor on the series. So and I don't think he got nearly enough credit because he's a very understated character.
Nominee, so there you go.
No, and that's that. I'm celebrating that. Like, I'm very glad to see him on the list.
I know, me too.
He got redemption for spoilers for The Walking Dead, I guess.
I mean, that's in the zeitgeist. If you haven't seen that by now, then I have no apologies for you.
Darth Vader's Luke's father.
Yep, exactly. It's one of those things where if you don't know, what's wrong with you? But I'm very happy to see he made the list. But I think you're right, Ryan. I think Chadwick Boseman runs away with this one.
All right, so Best Actress: Viola Davis and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
All right.
Andra Day in The United States versus Billie Holiday.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman. Frances McDormand in Nomadland, and Carrie Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. So this is identical to the Golden Globes nominations for Best Actress in a Drama. This is all 5 the same.
Man, I'm so happy to see Vanessa Kirby from Pieces of a Woman in there. I'm sad because of the controversy that Shia LaBeouf wasn't going to get. They kind of took him away from the campaign to go for Best Supporting Actor in that film because of the controversy surrounding him. But they were both so good in that movie. I mean, we talk about the year that Shia LaBeouf had when he had like his film he wrote came out, and then Peanut Butter Falcon, like that was a great year for him, like as far as acting goes.
James, if you don't know, Josh is a big Shia LaBeouf fan. He's always
acting wise, he is just amazing. I mean, he's got his demons, and all the controversy surrounding him is unfortunate.
I liked him in Even Stevens.
But no one can deny the guy's acting talent. Nobody can deny his acting talent. And it's sad to see that that his demons are still haunting him, and he had a chance to possibly get an Oscar nomination for this role because he was so raw and so real in this film. And so was Vanessa Kirby, just going through the trauma of this of the film. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm glad to see Carrie Mulligan in there. I've seen her and Frances McDormand. I feel like out of all of them, I think Frances McDormand's going to go away with it again. It's very similar to the role that she had as far as how she acted in it to the film. Yeah, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, but it's still the journey this character goes through with dealing with the pain of losing your job, your home, your husband, and kind of living the van life, as you will, as a nomad. Like, nothing's wrong with that, and actually shows the beauty that can go with that, but it's also just a journey of self-discovery that's really beautiful. So, I mean, I think she'll still run away with it. I haven't seen Viola Davis yet or Andrea Day.
she's a treat in everything she's in. So.
Oh, yeah, God. Of course.
The Golden Globe winner for Best Picture was Nomadland. Best Actor was Chadwick Boseman. And Best Actress was surprising because Nomadland ran away with the Best Picture and Director, but Andra Day got the award for Best Actress for The United States versus Billie Holiday. Doesn't mean she'll win the Oscar. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. In fact,
that happened. That happened with in 2014 when everybody thought that Michael Keaton was going to win for Birdman. Instead, it went to the guy who won for The Theory of Everything. Yeah, Eddie Redmayne. Everyone thought Michael Keaton had a shoe in, but he didn't win. So we'll see.
All right. So Best Supporting Actress. Here we go.
All right.
Maria Bakalova in Borat subsequent movie film. What the hell?
What the hell?
What?
Okay.
I know the first one was nominated.
I know Borat. No one's going to take Borat seriously, but Sasha Baron Cohen did an outstanding job in the Trials of Chicago 7. I completely forgot that was Borat.
He really did.
He'll probably
I really hope
we'll
so.
probably see his name on here. But I know the first Borat was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, but I did not expect to see an acting nomination for any of that. Wow, this is the official Academy Award.
I mean, that takes a real level of acting to stay straight-faced during that stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Glenn Close and Hillbilly Elegy, no surprise there.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman in The Father, I can read it.
Ooh, nice.
Amanda Seyfried in Mank.
Yep, that's well deserved.
And Yoon Yoo-jung in Minari.
All right. That's the wife. That's the wife of Stephen Wynn's character in the film, and she was so good in the movie.
So Minari is getting some love, more love than it got at Golden Globes, where it just got the foreign film thing. Yeah.
Again, I've only
something you also have to remember about the Golden Globes versus the Oscars is that the Golden Globes are nominated by the press, whereas the Oscars are nominated by industry people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a degree of difference in understanding of how these things work, and like sort of insider kind of politics.
Yeah.
Okay, so just comparing again the Golden Globes to the Oscars. 3 of these were Glenn Close, Olivia Colman, and Amanda Seyfried were all nominated for both. The 2 that surprised me because they weren't were Maria Bakalova and Yoon Yoo-jung. I think the 2 that got the Golden Globe nominations were Helena Zengel in News of the World and someone else. Else that did not get a nomination for best. Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster won it. Jodie Foster won.
Oh yeah,
actress
she did for the Martinian,
and she's not even nominated for the Oscars.
Yeah,
so sometimes that happens. In a few years ago, in 2016 or 2017, Aaron Taylor Johnson won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor for Nocturnal Animals and wasn't even nominated for the Oscar. But
I remember that.
Also happened to Jim Carrey twice with Truman Show and Man on the Moon, where he won the Golden Globe but didn't get the Oscar.
Well, that's also because he was doing it for a comedy. That I'm talking about.
No, those were serious roles.
I know,
they were.
He won those
for dramatic roles.
Best Actor in a musical or comedy, which the ones I'm referencing are the ones for a drama. Which
he got Man on the Moon and Truman Show for serious act, like
for
Best
drama actor in a drama.
Acting.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So out of all these, I would love to see Yang Yoon-jo. I can't pronounce the name. Yang Yoon-jung in Minari.
You're so white.
Shut up.
It's not bad. It's just what it is.
Hey man, I'm a spanking time.
He's the only one here who has like heritage.
Right? Y'all are the white boys. No, I'm joking. But anyways, as I would love to see her win it for Minari. From what I'm gathering, and that's why I can't wait to see it Thursday. From what I'm gathering, Olivia Colman will win this one. That's from what I'm gathering from like all the buzz that's going on all around online. So
I keep trying to scroll right and screen because I'm getting ahead of myself trying to see what's next.
Well, let's see what's next. Best supporting actor. Dude, if Shia LaBeouf actually is nominated, like, can you just imagine Josh like losing his damn mind?
Oh, I will probably I'd probably run around the house. Oh my god!
Okay, Sasha Baron Cohen in The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Right, nice.
Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Nice.
Leslie Odom Jr. in One Night in Miami. So far, all the same as the Golden Globes. Paul Rossi in Sound of Metal. And Lakeith Stanfield in Judas and the Black Messiah. Those two are different. I'm trying to think here. The two that were different at the Golden Globes, the other two nominees were don't sit here and wait for me to figure that out. Just go.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to see all these on the list, especially Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas Black Messiah. Both really great. And I was very surprised how good Sasha Baron Cohen was in the Trial of Chicago 7. Like, he was great.
Okay.
I would have loved to have seen maybe Eddie Redmayne as well, because he was also great. But I'm good with Sasha Baron Cohen.
The two of the Golden Globes were I just had Jared Leto in The Little Things and Bill Murray in On the Rocks. So they were replaced with Paul Rossi for Sound of Metal and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas. So this is interesting. Isn't Daniel Kaluuya the lead role in Judas and the Black Messiah? Why does it keep getting?
Not really. They're such an ensemble. They're such an ensemble that it's hard to. It's kind of like how it was when Spotlight was nominated, that they could have easily nominated all of them for supporting actor because they weren't none of them were really the front man or the front woman.
They've done that. They've taken the two biggest characters in the movie and nominated them both for supporting actor.
You also have to remember that the way the nomination process works is that it's not the Academy who chooses what award you're up for.
Yeah, it's
the studio submits for each award. So if the studio is choosing to put the lead actor as a supporting actor, they probably think that he's not going to win anything in the lead actor category. Yeah, going up against, like, obviously Chadwick Boseman. I think we're all on the same page thinking he's going to take it. The studio probably strategically chose to pull their actor back and put him in the supporting category to try and get an Oscar for them as well.
Yeah, there's a long history of people getting nominations. Jamie Foxx got a nomination for Collateral for supporting actor when he was the main character in the damn movie. So there's a history of that when they feel like that this guy did such a great job in this movie, he should get nominated, but he's not going to stand a chance in the other category. Let's nominate him in this. So Al Pacino in The Godfather was nominated for supporting actor. So
that's shocking. I didn't know that.
Right?
I know. Yeah, Marlon Brando won it for Best Actor, but Al Pacino was nominated for supporting actor. It's crazy.
I mean, I guess if you're going to put up Brando and Pacino, you don't put Brando up as the supporting actor.
You could have just put them both as actors. I mean, the movies can have more than one lead role.
Sure.
In fact, the movie Mutiny on the Bounty had 3 nominees and this is in the 30s now, but it had 3 nominees for Best Actor.
But you also don't put up your other actor against
the other,
Marlon Brando. All right, so looking at this list, these are all the first-time acting nominees. These are the guys that I'm really excited for. I'm excited for some of the people who have been around a long time. They're now first-time nominees, like Carrie Mulligan, all the way from Blink, which is the best episode of television ever, to here. Good for her. Amanda Seyfried, all the way from Veronica Mars to being an Oscar nominee. Good for them. Chadwick Boseman. I'm happy for all of them. So.
You know what? I looked. I never realized this, but Daniel Kaluuya was one of the characters in the second Kick-Ass film.
Was he?
And I didn't even realize it. Yeah, he's in Kick-Ass too. He was one of the bad guys.
That movie's kind of a fever dream. I think I've erased most of it from my memory.
I remember rewatching. I'm like, that's Daniel Kaluuya. Holy shit! But out of all of them, like, I haven't seen Sound of Metal or One Night in Miami, but out of the ones I've seen, I would have voted for I probably would have voted for Lakeith Stanfield. He was so good in the film. A lot of raw emotion. I'd probably vote for him.
I mean, I'm biased towards Trial of Chicago 7, both because it's the only one I've seen and because it's like my bread and butter kind of film. So
yeah.
Sasha Baron Cohen just blew me away with how good he was. Like, and this is like a pretty stacked cast that he's up with. Like, you got what's his name from Third Rock in the Sun, who's like everyone loves.
John Lithgow? Or
no,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Joseph Gordon, yeah, who is a powerhouse unto himself as an actor.
Still
Yeah,
yet to
he
get
was
his
great in the
Oscar
film
nomination.
too.
And Eddie Redmayne, who was also really good, and like Frank Langella, who you just love to hate his character. And just like a full cast of just amazing actors, and then like Sasha Baron Cohen stole the show in a way I wasn't expecting. So I'm really glad to see him on this list.
When you say it's your bread and butter kind of film, like what exactly do you mean?
Sort of it being like very political, it being very sort of like I have a like very deep interest in how Hollywood kind of recreates the 20th century sort of historic moments, especially like the later 20th century, when like there's all kinds of documented footage of stuff that we can watch and see how it happened, and then kind of comparing the two things. Like Milk was a big movie for me a couple years ago, and I love watching any of that stuff where it's like a big event that like there's sort of like a zeitgeist memory for historically, but there's also like footage I can go back and see what actually happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, watching a movie, sort of seeing how, like a very narrative, very story-driven way of depicting what happened, as opposed to just the events of history kind of thing, and comparing those kinds of things together. So like Trial of the Chicago 7, and like again, it's a very well directed, very well acted. What's his name who wrote it and directed it is just an outstanding writer.
Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin, thank you. I'm terrible with names, forgive me. But he's like, usually his stuff is just right up my alley. And this is it's the film is actually really good as a sort of like juxtaposition to a lot of things that are happening today politically. And it's so well timed and just so interesting, and I'm really glad it got the nods that it did. Then again, I'm biased because it's the only one I've seen on the list, so it's the only one I have frame of reference for. But
my screen share is now live to our audience, telling us that we're running out of time for this. Peek behind the curtain here, guys. We do these things in parts because of Zoom, so we'll deal with that there in a minute. We'll just edit. You won't even notice. So best director. Here we go. This is exciting. Thomas Vinterberg for another round. What the hell is that?
What movie is this?
What movie is? Even Josh is like, what movie is this?
Okay, I'll have to look it up now.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman.
Nice.
David Fincher for Mank. Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland.
Chloe Zhao is a good choice.
So Nomadland, Mank, and Promising Young Woman all got the Golden Globes. Another Round and Minari replace. One Night in Miami was nominated.
Yeah.
And people thought that this might be the year that we had 3 female, we've only had 5 women be nominated in the history of the Academy Awards. They thought that number might almost double in 1 year. But apparently they don't like Regina King, so they didn't nominate her. But she got a Golden Globe nomination for One Night in Miami.
Another Round appears to be a Danish film starring Mads Mikkelsen. Google's telling me that it's about sort of excess and alcoholism and all that stuff. So it's
I do remember. It looks
like this is sort of their almost token sort of foreign director kind of.
Good.
Although again, Minari's in there, so. The other
Golden Globe nominee was Aaron Sorkin for Trial of Chicago 7. So there you go. Thomas Vinterberg and Lee Isaac Chung take those here. So they went the more those two are foreign films, obviously. Good for them.
I mean, I've seen it 4 of the 5. I haven't seen Thomas Vinterberg yet, but Aaron Sorkin should have been nominated. He really should have. That's such a well-directed film. But I have a feeling, based on what we've seen, has been winning, and it's well deserved. Chloe Zhao will most likely win. Lee Isaac Chung. It's my personal favorite, and David Fincher, because even like Mank it can be boring at times, like you'll kind of, but only due to the directing. It's just certain moments where where Gary Oldman's not in the picture or not in the film, in the scene or something like that. But other than that, it's just so well directed.
And how awesome is it that we're one of the next Marvel movies coming out, Marvel Studios movies, will have been directed by an Academy Award winning, not just nominated, but probably winning. She'll probably win it in April. Director Chloe Zhao is making Eternals for Marvel.
Oh yeah,
that's her next
right.
movie.
That's exciting.
And in terms of Sorkin, he's kind of a controversial figure these days. I don't think he's made a lot of friends in Hollywood lately. So
why? Why is he controversial?
He said some things in the past that have kind of rustled some feathers and whatnot. So I'm not surprised that he's kind of been left off the list. But it is what it is, I guess. Unfortunate,
because again, the man's talent though.
No, I love his work, but
you got to base it on the work too, not just that. But anyway,
again, the Oscars
did you order the code red? Goes all the way back to that.
Answers?
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. This is the guy that wrote "You Can't Handle the Truth." I mean,
that's right.
So,
all right, let's move on.
All right, best adapted screenplay: Borat, subsequent movie film. Oh, screw you guys. The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, which got some love finally, and The White Tiger.
What's The White Tiger?
They are going more for foreign. They are giving some more love for foreign films. Obviously,
yeah, that sounds like it's maybe Indian, maybe Pakistani.
As long as it's deserved. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so.
Ambitious Indian film.
That's 6 nominees.
No, that's just there's a lot of writers on Borat, which, believe it or not.
Okay, I was like.
No, Lee Kern is not a film.
Man.
That's a very interesting
2021 drama film directed by Ramin Barani. I'm not seeing any other information, but it looks like it's an Indian film, so another foreign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best original screenplay. Best original screenplay is Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman.
Very nice.
Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7.
All right.
So they're giving Sorkin some love here.
They're giving Sorkin some love. He already has an Oscar, so he doesn't. No.
Does he?
Anything he writes is Oscar gold. So anytime he writes something, you gotta almost guarantee he's gonna get nominated because it's just so well written.
What did he win for?
The Social Network.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
But he's always nominated for. I mean, he didn't get nominated for Molly's Game, but I mean, he got nominated for Steve Jobs, even though he didn't win, and definitely The Social Network, and really anything he writes.
The one thing that didn't get any love that was nominated for the Golden Globe for Best Screenplay was because they just have one Best Screenplay nominee list at the Golden Globes was Mank, I think. It's really interesting because Mank was written by David Fincher's father like 30 years ago, and he's been dead for like 20 years. And
that sucks. That's
10
sad.
years. He's been dead for a long time, and his son finally decided that now is the time to dust off the screenplay and make it unaltered, so it's just credited to him. And didn't get an Oscar nomination. That kind of
that's sad. That really should have been nominated. I feel like really should
just
have
for
been
that.
Just for honors. Just for honors, yeah, for real. I'm serious.
Yeah, they do love their sentimentality.
So that sucks. But all great. I mean, again, I've seen 4 of the 5. So I mean, for writing, I would vote for Trial of Chicago 7. Honestly, out of all of them, that one it's just so well written.
All right, so best costume design. No dogs in this fight, I take it.
We'll see.
Emma.
Okay. I have a dog in that fight. That was a really great costume. I love that film. That's great.
Mank.
Okay.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Okay.
Mulan. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And Pinocchio. Wait, there was a Pinocchio this year?
I think there was a Disney version.
No, it wasn't. The Disney version is being made. It's being directed by Robert Zemeckis and has Tom Hanks in it. Believe me, we'll hear about that when it comes out.
Yeah. No, this one has to be a foreign one.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of movies this year that we haven't heard of. Like
all great costumes.
I was like,
yeah, all great costumes. If I had my personal pick, it'd probably be Emma, but I have a feeling it'll either go to Mank or Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, most likely.
We can move on. Best original score. Okay, here we go. This is my bread and butter.
That's your personal.
That's my favorite, personal. Yeah. The Five Bloods. Okay. Mank. They don't even list the nominees, but The Five Bloods would be, I think, Terrence Blanchard. Mank would be Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Minari.
Oh,
whoever.
nice.
News of the World for James Newton Howard, which you guys know I hate.
Yeah, you hate him.
And Soul for Trent
nice.
Reznor, Atticus Ross, and possibly John Baptiste. The Golden Globes included John Baptiste in that because he helped write the songs. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to look it up somewhere else. But yeah, a lot. Like I said, 3. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. 3 of these were nominated for the Golden Globes: Mank, News of the World, and Soul. The 2 that got left out that were nominated for the Golden Globes were The Midnight Sky for Alexandre Desplat. And another one. So, yeah.
That's sad. Alexander Desplat is such a good composer. He's so great.
I'm kind of hyped that Trent Reznor is in there twice. You said?
Oh, Trent Reznor was the other. Yeah, Trent Reznor is in there twice. He's Mank and Soul.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting for me.
Well, they won it. They won it also for The Social Network. So they've got Oscars. Yeah.
I think either my prediction is either Minari or Soul will win it. That's my prediction.
I have a feeling Mank is probably going to win more often than we're giving it credit for because the Oscars really love films about filmmaking and films about film history.
Yes, that's true. Hollywood loves Hollywood.
Yeah, so
that's true. Well, that's why La La Land, almost pretty much swept it. Almost.
And what was the other one about the kid a couple years ago that won a bunch of them? I think it was a Scorsese film.
Oh, Hugo? Yeah.
Hugo. Yeah. That was a big one for them.
Well, let's move on.
Sorry, I was still trying to think of who was the other Golden Globe nominee, but I'm not going to think of it right here. Best animated short film. Okay.
I got to figure out how to watch these because I don't think they're showing them usually at normal places.
But Burrow, Genius Loci, If Anything Happens, I Love You, Opera, and Yes People. Good for them. Okay. Best live action short film.
Hang on, are any of those Canadian? No, I'm serious because Canada often we're very well known for our short film sort of scene, and we end up getting a nomination most years. So I'm kind of curious to see if any of our Canadian ones I should be supporting.
Yeah, we'll have to find that out. Best live action short film is Feeling Through, The Letter Room, The Present, Two Distant Strangers, and White Eye. So it'd be interesting to find out if any of this list doesn't have the people involved. So it's the best short film. That could surprise you who's nominated. Like people you don't realize won Oscars or were nominated for short film. Taika Waititi, years before he ever won it for Jojo Rabbit, he was nominated for best short film in the early 2000s. Sean Astin is an Academy Award nominee for short film. Peter Capaldi, the 13th Doctor, is a winner. He won an Oscar for that. So yeah, there's people out there that Martin McDonagh, who wrote and directed 3 Billboards, as well as In Bruges, which is a movie that it still makes me ill. That
still haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that Josh hasn't seen because it's a movie.
We need to do a watch party.
Yeah, I love that movie, but it's also just so perfect for Josh. I just think Josh would love that movie so much, and he loved 3 Billboards. So
I love 3 Billboards.
But he won best live action short film for a little film he did called Six Shooter. So yeah, people who you don't think, or Kobe Bryant, people who you don't think or know the Oscar.
Probably not anymore, but
Say what now?
I said I don't think he's going to be winning the award anymore, but
he did win it though before he died.
Oh, did he win? Okay, I thought you were making a joke that he could be one that would win.
No. Yeah, he did win before.
My mistake.
Wow, way to go, James.
James, goodness.
All right.
What's next?
Best documentary. Josh, you may have seen some of these. Collective, Crypt Camp, The Mole Agent, My Octopus Teacher, and Time. Seen any of those? Okay.
No, and I watched a lot of them this year. Wow, I haven't seen any of those.
I've never seen you more pissed off at the Oscars than what was the documentary that didn't get nominated? Was the Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, the Mr. Rogers documentary.
You were just like, what the fuck? What the?
That was a really well done one.
I did. I walked off pissed. I threw my chair.
I think that happened in our actual. What I just did did happen in the actual video that we made when we were in person.
You go back, if anybody's listening, you go back and watch our reactions to that year, and I did do that. I was pretty angry.
You actually walked off camera.
Fucking furious. I was so angry.
Best documentary short subject, Colette, A Concerto is a Conversation, Do Not Split, Hunger Ward, and A Love Song for Latasha. Okay.
And I think this year, I hope this year that they'll be able to, people can watch these online, because used to you can go to like your local art museum.
Yeah.
You can watch them there, but I don't think they're doing that this year because of COVID. So I'm hoping that people will be able to just like watch them online.
Yeah. Best live action or best international feature film. So best that's what they're calling best foreign film now. Another Round from Denmark.
Okay.
Better Days from Hong Kong. Collective from Romania. The Man Who Sold His Skin from Tunisia, and Quo Vadis Aida from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, okay, Tunisia. Never thought I'd see a Tunisian film in my life, and probably still won't. But good for Tunisia.
I really want to see Another Round. And now that I didn't know it at first, but I remember seeing the poster with Mads Mikkelsen in it, and yeah, I do want to see that.
Okay. Best sound. Here's one for me. Or I'm a big one for this one too. My first three interviews were all sound guys, so I've come to respect them so much. But they're not gonna Greyhound. They're not gonna let us know who the nominees themselves are. So
they deserve recognition.
Mank, News of the World, Sound of Metal, and Soul.
Nice.
So
we're getting into the technical category.
Did they combine sound editing and sound mixing?
No. Sound is just another term for sound mixing. They still have sound editing on its own.
Okay.
We're getting into the technical categories, and something that's always kind of occurred. Someone who worked in visual effects for a long time kind of pointed out to me that these tend to be not the best sound design or the best, visual effects or the best editing. Tends to be the most sound design, the most visual effects, the most editing are the ones that kind of win. So,
if that was true, then the Marvel movies would be winning them all. Which is,
I mean, there's a lot of like big movies that have a lot of sound design. So
I know, but
like Marvel movies, Star Wars, those are kind of the bread and butter of these technical categories usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but except Marvel's, the Black Panther and Iron Man are the only two out of the 20 Marvel movies that have been nominated for best sound. So.
Wow.
In my mind, they tend to go just the most good sound-ish of the darling nominated films, like Mank or News of the World. These are the most soundish. Oh, by the way, I don't even need to see the nominee list to know that News of the World, the production sound mixer on there, was John Pritchett. My very first interview. Wow. Was the guy who did Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame was out at the time, so it was a very exciting interview for me to get. And he said at the end of the interview, I said, "What's next for you?" And he said, "I can't really talk about it, but I'm doing something with Tom Hanks." And that ended up being News of the World, and now he's nominated again. It's his third nomination, so congratulations, John Pritchett.
So real quick though, for best sound, from what I hear, like I said, I'm excited to watch it. Sound of Metal, the sound mixing in that, it kind of takes on its own character. Like
that'll win. Bohemian Rhapsody won it. Musical films always.
Well, it's mostly about a guy who is a metal musician who loses his sound. Like he loses his hearing. So I mean, that from what I hear, that like it really plays an integral part to the film.
All right. So best production design, best sets. The Father. Well, that's a surprise. Isn't just a little present day drama about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet. Good for Tenet.
Tenet.
The Father, I'm very surprised because it's not a period piece. It's just a movie about a guy at home. So that's the most surprising one to me. But yeah.
Out of all these, I want Tenet to win, but I have a feeling since it was based on a play, I feel like Ma Rainey's.
Wait a minute. The was Tenet nominated for? No, Tenet was the other score. Ludwig Göransson was nominated for best score for Tenet. So now that I think about Tenet, now that Tenet's on my mind, I haven't seen the film, but I'm still disappointed for Ludwig Göransson. He didn't get his second Oscar nomination for it.
Yeah, and that was honestly like I remember my review of Tenet. I felt like that score was his like magnum opus. It was like the best score he's ever done because it's just so it takes literally on a character of its own, and it adds so much to the film. I need to have you watch Tenet too.
I do wonder if Mank is probably going to be sort of underrated in this category because, again, the Oscars really love movies about movies. especially in categories like production design, where it's a period piece, and period pieces are very kind of big in this category. Like that's usually where you see these awards at least being nominated, if not like handed out. So I have a feeling that Mank is probably going to be
Mank will win a buck.
Probably lead in this category in my estimation.
I'd agree with that. The only thing I'm pretty sure of at this point is that Sound of Metal is going to win Best Sound. That's guaranteed. Take it to the bank, Ryan T. Murphy.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Best Film Editing: The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. No surprise, it's all Best Picture nominees. Now, typically speaking, they'll nominate the most kinetic of their darling films, which makes sense why Sound of Metal is on there. It doesn't have to be a very kinetic film or action-filled film. In the past, if an action film gets nominated, it means it's an action film they really like. So they never nominated Transformers for Best Film Editing, but they nominated Top Gun and RoboCop and Die Hard and films that they really liked. But this year, it's all dramas.
Trial of Chicago 7 had some really good sort of non-linear storytelling to it, which I think is probably going to lean heavily into its sort of presence in this category. I haven't seen the other one, so I can't say, but based on like what I've seen in Chicago, the Trial of Chicago 7, I'm guessing that one will probably be pretty high in the nomination, like the number of like votes it gets altogether. So if it doesn't win, it'll probably like, we'll never know, but it'll be like second place. So my money would be on Trial of Chicago 7.
And we'll take your word for it because you're the only one here who actually edits for a living. So
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily make me an expert because like what I think is good editing isn't necessarily what's, the thing you have to remember about these categories is they're nominated by the people who they're nominated by each branch. So editing nominates editing, but they're voted on by the entire Academy. So even though these are the best that are, the editors of the Academy say that these are the best edited films, the one that will win will be selected by everybody. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the best one is necessarily the one that had the best editing. It's just of the ones that the editors have said, these are the 5 best. The rest of the Academy have said, this is the one we like. So again, that leans to my adage about, it's not necessarily about the best editing. Sometimes it's just about the most editing, which people seem to think means, oh, there's a lot of editing. So that means that,
That's why Bohemian Rhapsody won, I'm pretty sure, because of the Live Aid sequence, So
such a great sequence.
Need to see that one.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Best cinematography: Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank,
Come on, Tenet,
News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Again, it's frustrating they're not listing the actual people here, and I can't tell you who did these movies off the top of my head. I'll look it up when we're discussing everything afterwards. But
I have seen all but News of the World, so out of all of them, I would either go with Mank, just for how well
it's black and white, right? That's why they'll get the Oscar. That's why they.
That's probably why they got the nomination.
But honestly, the front runner is Nomadland, in my opinion, just because the scenery and it was all shot with natural light. So that, to me, it was such a beautiful looking film. So that's
the entire movie actually shot with natural light.
Yeah, it's out in the middle, like it's literally out in the middle of nowhere.
No, but was like even the internal scenes. Like, did you hear something about like how it was?
Well, you could just tell how it was. You could just tell how it was shot. Like the moments where it's like dark and like sunset outside, where it's like pretty much sun's almost down. You barely see their faces, but that's done on purpose because it's all natural lighting.
Okay.
Like,
is cinematography one of those categories that has a bake-off?
What?
Oh, okay. That might be too inside baseball. Okay, so I know what happens with visual effects in a few other categories, but there's something called a bake-off and they might call it other things in different categories, but it's where the nomination process takes place, and they all have the different people present their film. They'll have like a little short reel of like the stuff that they've done in the film to kind of like illustrate, why it was so well done. And they do like sort of a mini presentation. The famous sort of example that I keep hearing about is James Cameron went to do the visual effects for Titanic, and they've got a little red light bulb that goes on when it tells you that your time is up. and in the middle of speaking, the light bulb went off, and he just went over, unscrewed it, threw it on the ground, and kept talking. So like the Bake Off is just a weird little anecdote. I found it amusing. But the Bake Off, if there's a presentation for this, I think that if they can like kind of illustrate why their film was so well done with natural lighting, that might lead to it getting a better sort of positioning in this category. But if there isn't a Bake Off, then I don't know. Then again, the rest of the Academy doesn't see the Bake Off, so it may not matter. I don't know.
Okay,
sorry, I'm babbling. Ignore me.
Well, you're fine, but I actually wanted to share this. I just looked it up, and the out of the nominees for best cinematography, News of the World was shot by Dariusz Wolski. And again, I really get excited for the first time nominees, right? Like, oh, this is so cool. You've earned this after so long. Dariusz Wolski has been around forever. He shot The Crow back in the day. He shot the first 4 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He's had a collaboration with Ridley Scott for a really long time. He shoots all of Ridley Scott's movies. He shot a couple movies for Tim Burton, like Alice in Wonderland and stuff. Like, he's been around for a long time. He's never gotten an Oscar nomination. Now he's finally the Academy Award nominee, Dariusz Wolski.
Awesome.
So good for him. The other ones I have either never heard of or I know that they've been nominated for. So,
and also when you shoot natural lighting for cinematography, to me it's just better because you're relying just on the camera, not any kind of artificial lighting. Mm-hmm. So like when 1917 won, it was shot all in natural light. No joke, all in natural light, and it was gorgeous. Just the composition, the shadows, and the coloring involved in it. It was beautiful. Like the contrasting was all beautiful. And same, that's why I feel like Nomadland is there. It's not.
Sorry, what movie was that again?
1917.
1917. Yeah. Okay. Now one movie that was actually, I don't know if 1917 and Nomadland were actually, if you can actually find officially that they were shot with no artificial lighting at all. One film that was shot with all natural lighting, meaning no electrical lighting, was a movie in 1976, I think. Called Barry Lyndon, 1975, and it won the Oscar. It was a Stanley Kubrick film. It won the Oscar for cinematography, largely because it's probably the hype around how it was shot with only candlelight. So all the internal scenes are lit with candlelight. They trucked in like 100 candles, but they still only had candlelight. So it is interesting. Little anecdote.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, those tend to go that kind of film where it's something where they're pushing the envelope of the kind of art form, especially in these technical categories, are the ones that tend to have a lot more momentum. Especially with the nominations, the people who like to nominate, or the people who do nominate these things, really like when there's something different and unique,
absolutely,
and new kind of done with it. Or if you take it back to sort of older styles, like you forego sort of CG for more classical types of motion graphics, motion effects and whatnot, visual effects, just as an example. Or if you use like non-modern sort of lighting techniques or camera techniques, those things kind of win you a little more favor with these categories. So I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes a factor.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Next up is visual effects. This always disappoints because they always go for something like, there's always something that we think should be the winner, and then they go like with The Lion King. Obviously had the most obvious visual effects, and then they went to 1917. So, but the nominees,
I believe the statistic in this one is it tends to be the highest grossing of the ones nominated tends to win.
All right, Love and Monsters.
Oh, nice.
Is that what is?
I've seen that. It's good visual effects.
Okay. There's no Marvel movies this year, and there's a lot of big action movies that didn't come out. So we're gonna see some probably lower tier sort of action movies be nominated. The Midnight Sky, Mulan,
nice.
The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet.
Tenet wins.
Yeah, Tenet's gonna win, if not the
Tenet's
Mulan.
Gonna win. Take it to the bank. Nope, Tenet's winning it. There's no way it doesn't win it. Absolutely no way.
Uh-huh.
Do you know who the effects house for that was? Or the primary one? Because there's usually like a dozen.
I don't. Sure.
How do I get?
We don't have to look it up. I was just wondering if anyone knew off the top of their head, because
yeah,
ILM has a tendency to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So best visual effects will be Tenet. Best animated feature film. This is gonna be Soul. Soul, whatever.
Soul's gonna win.
Onward, Over the Moon, a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon,
Why?
Soul, and Wolfwalkers. That's how I feel about Borat, man. Like, why? But Shaun the Sheep movie, Armageddon, Over the Moon. Yep. Okay. The only one that Shaun the Sheep movie replaces the Golden Globe nominee was The Croods and New Age was the Golden Globe nominee that Shaun the Sheep movie replaces. But yeah, there you go. So,
have either of you seen Over the Moon or Wolfwalkers?
No.
Nope.
No.
I want to though.
This is a category I'd like to see more foreign animated films kind of make their way into. Like a couple of years ago, Your Name was making big waves in Japan, and there's been a lot of sort of Asian animated films that don't like. I think one of the few exceptions is like maybe Spirited Away kind of thing. I would like to see more of those make this kind of category, which is unfortunate because, I mean, frankly, some of those are just way, way, way better animation than a lot of American studios do. And a lot of them tend to be like sort of traditional animation or a marrying of traditional animation and CG animation. Whereas like most of these just tend to be CG animation because Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar have all just kind of foregone traditional animation at this point. So
yeah.
Just say on the side here, Pete Docter sets animated feature category record with Soul nominations. So he's been nominated apparently more than anyone for best animated film.
That doesn't surprise me. His films tend to be really good.
Yeah, Monsters Inc., Inside Out.
He did either Up or
he did Up. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember
Inside
if it was
Out,
Up or
Monsters,
WALL-E.
Inc.
Those two get mixed up in my brain.
No, WALL-E was Andrew Stanton. So
yeah, those two tend to go back and forth which one they direct.
Yep. All right, so best makeup and hairstyling: Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, and Pinocchio. I'm really interested to see what this Pinocchio film is.
Right, me too.
But yeah, makes sense. Not much to say there.
No,
I'm gonna say probably Mank in this one.
Okay.
Probably Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom for me.
Best original song: Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of the Fire Saga.
What?
You know, there's some surprising nominees this year that we've never heard of. A lot of them because they're reaching out more into the foreign market. But that one is surprising. Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. The song is Husavik. Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah.
Good song.
Scene from The Life Ahead. Speak Now from One Night in Miami. And Hear My Voice from The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Oh, that's a great song.
I don't remember that one.
Judas and the Black Messiah, The Life Ahead, One Night in Miami. The only again, the Golden Globe nominee that was snubbed in favor of the Eurovision Song Contest was a song from the United States versus Billie Holiday. So other than that, the Golden Globes. Couldn't tell you, don't know any of these songs. Well, the one that won the Golden Globe was Scene, and that's written by Diane Warren. If you guys don't know who Diane Warren is, you're missing out. Because I think James saying he knows who she is.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like I couldn't name her library off the top of my head, but
she's the queen of songs for movies. She's been nominated for like 14 Oscars. She's never won. She is a favorite of Jerry Bruckheimer. She did.
I was gonna say, I remember her from Top Gun.
No, she didn't do Top Gun.
I think she was on the soundtrack for Top Gun.
She may have been, but she wasn't the one behind Take My Breath Away or anything.
No.
But as far as like she did, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing from Armageddon, performed by Aerosmith. She did There You'll Be from Pearl Harbor. She did How Do I Live from Con Air, all Jerry Bruckheimer productions. She did the opening theme song for Star Trek Enterprise, Faith of the Heart.
I love that song.
So yeah, she is the queen, and she's never won an Oscar, and she did win the Golden Globe for the movie The Life Ahead. So hopefully this will be her year, and I'm going to call it for her. That's my prediction.
Cool.
Never heard the song, never heard any of the songs, but I'm just for the sake of her winning an Oscar.
Just rooting for her.
Yeah. And that's it. Wait, where's sound effects?
I told you, I think they just wrapped them together.
No, the fuck they did. I am be so pissed because Greyhound was. Oh man, hold on. Here's the. Did you actually hear that they combined sound and sound effects?
No, I'm just assuming now.
Because Greyhound was nominated for Best Sound, and I thought we'd get a sound effects nomination, and the guy who did the sound effects was Dave McMorley, who was my second interview. He's been nominated once before for The Mask of Zorro, and he was the nicest guy in the world. He was the coolest guy to interview, and I was, oh my gosh, I'm just beside myself if they didn't. Best sound, best film editing, best, holy shit. They don't have a sound effects nomination. This is crazy. This is an abomination. How's there not writing? This is
wow.
They eliminate.
Because no one cares about the technical categories. They care about the big five, and that's it.
Yeah, but the filmmaking nerds do, like us.
Oh, I know. We do, but like
Oh,
we
I'm
well
so
know
upset.
that there's nothing we can do about these categories anyways, or who gets in there, who doesn't. So
I think that's dumb to take away that
That's
category.
very dumb. That's just
because sound editing and sound mixing are completely different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ugh, wow. Okay. Well, it looks like they have combined them because Oliver Tarney's nominated for News of the World. He's a sound effects editor. So that's fucked up. That's so messed up. But yeah. But still, my boy Dave McMorley didn't get a nomination. It says for Greyhound. That's upsetting. But he has one already, I guess.
Well, I don't have as much homework as I thought. I mean, I have still quite a bit, but not as nearly as much. I'm glad I watched as many as I have so far, but I have a feeling I'll be pretty well caught up by the time I can give like really honest, predictions. And I feel like for anybody listening, I think as long as these two are okay with it, we're gonna do a prediction video, probably like the weekend, I
have nothing to contribute.
Weekend. I think I listed all my predictions.
I mean, I'll just do it. One or the other.
That works.
No, I mean, I'll join because I still want to see them and make a more estimated guess. Because again, I've seen Trial of Chicago 7, and
yeah, because by the time we'll probably record for our prediction video, probably do it like 5 days before, and have it up to be like 2 days or 3 days before the actual event, the actual show. I'll be caught up to be able to actually give a real what I feel like would be a really thorough prediction, but based on what I think they will vote for, not necessarily what I would want to vote for. So.
When is the awards again?
It's it is April 25th, day before my birthday.
Okay, so I got a little bit of time.
Yeah, you got quite a bit.
I'm so upset. I'm just they got me.
Yeah,
just nuts. Anyway, so
all right, folks. Well, that'll do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. We're kind of ending on a sour note because me and Ryan are kind of angry about the sound mixing kind of getting snubbed. But more importantly, guys, what did you think of the reactions? What did you think of the nominees for the Academy Awards? Jump in the comments section below and let us know your thoughts, and give us some of your predictions of what you know so far and what you think will be nominated. Just jump in the comments and let's continue on the conversation down there. Also, if you like what you watched, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can receive more of our various content in the future. That's all we have for you today. Again, I'm Josh Williams.
And I'm Ryan Murphy.
And I'm James Sheridan.
And thank you for keeping it real.
With Real Time.
Good night.